Hi, my name is Jade and this is How to App on iOS, and I hope you're doing okay. Today we're taking a look at Traverse Lo-Fi Tape Effect by Audio Damage. It is a ridiculous $2.99 on the iOS App Store. It works on your iPhone, your iPad and your Mac, and it is part of the series of other apps they've released recently, Descent Granulator and Ascent Reverb. So there it is on iOS, but it's also available on the desktop if you're interested in that. It is $42 on the desktop at audiodamage.com. Traverse is a lo-fi tape effect and stereo delay in one. So there you go. That is a brief description. We're going to bounce over to my project here in AUM, and we've got a bunch of instruments: Playbeat, Soundbox, Piano Tech 9. We've got Chord Pond and Snakebud. And we've got Pro A5 running on the end, which we'll get into later for pads. Shut up, Jade. Play the demo. Let's Oge. All right, what I want to do next is take it out of the mix here, off all these tracks, and just play you what you would have heard without the effect running. Okay, so a lot going on there. Obviously, you've got the lo-fi tape effect and you've got the wonderful delays that were happening there. We're going to focus now on this Piano Tech track here and open this up and get into how it all works. Firstly, let's talk about the settings. Show tool tips: enable animation, enable glow effects. So you might want to turn these off if you've got an older iPad. Also, you've got oversampling up to 4 times. So again, if you're on an older iPad that's taking up DSP, you might want to keep this at 1. Or if you've got something stronger, go for it 4 times. Save it if you've changed anything. You just hit save. All done. We've got a beautiful bypass up here. What's interesting about it too is compared to like turning it off over here, this bypass is going to skip any like pops, crackles, clicks or anything like that that you get with a delay when you bypass and come back. Perfect for A/B testing. Let's talk about the presets. So you get a ton of them. Heaps of them. So many, a huge list. You're going to lose your mind at how many there are. You've got a user over here. That's where your init patch is, your default. You can save, delete, copy, paste, import presets in a zip or export as a zip, cancel and close. Super easy to traverse. I'm going to get out of the way right here just so you can see the full effect of everything. Now let's talk about the tape effect. So as I said, this is a lo-fi cassette going into a delay, but you can change that when let's talk about this. So when it's off over here, this button, you'll see the delay light comes on. This delay happens. And when we have this off, so there's our delay back. So when it's off, the default, it is a space echo model. So the cassette is first. That is then the delay second, with feedback returning through the full cassette chain. When you flip it on, and that delay disappears, then you are looking, it flips the order, so you're looking at the delay tail only, turning Traverse into a more conventional tape flavored delay with a clean input signal. Okay, so there you go. That is the difference there. You've got this really, really crunchy drive over here. Let's just get this playing. So it's very simple what the piano is. I really love the look of this. And what's interesting about this, I'll show you with the drums soon. The notes that are being played here through Snakebud are on the 5th octave, right? And you can see that displayed here, bouncing back and forth. These 2 sections are highlighting over everything else. So it kind of works on the scale here in relation to the piano. We've got this crunchy drive. It's very filthy. Now it can get crazy, right? Depending on your feedback. We pull this feedback back a little bit and then drive it. very crunchy, very tasty. So we have the post delay off at the moment. So you can hear now it's working more like a delay, right? The next tab along is our tape effects. Let's talk about these. So first of all, you've got wow and flutter. Of course you do. You wouldn't be complete without wow and flutter. Right? So your wow's gonna give it that. Your flutter, find a nice balance. Next up, now I'm using the piano just so you can hear this well. We'll get into drums. Then we have a splice system here. So the procedural tape splice simulator has 4 interacting controls. So the time sets the length of the splice. And then you've got the depth here. So the length here goes from 0.5 seconds all the way up to a minute. And then you've got this depth dial, so this sets the amount. Now the pitch and amp toggle the pitch chirp and the amplitude dip for each dropout. So you can start to hear that kind of dropping out and breaking the shorter it is. Let's turn those off for now. Click off and you're back here. You've got the tone, right? So it's a slope. We can sync the delay, which is controlled with our time. Now I'm going to bypass. So in our sync mode, we've got your usual division suspects. Feedback. Can we get it feedback on itself? I don't think you can actually. I've tried before. So it's not going to self-oscillate. Unless you have that drive on, it's going to go crazy, right? So be aware when you've got the drive happening up loud. That sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Noise. This one's interesting. So you can see we've got this gated button over here. If I turn that off, you'll start to, so you've got a whole different bunch of noises in here. We've got hiss. Let's turn it up. Now when you click on the gated effect, it's going to gate along with that delay. We've got a crackle. Let's just stop this so you can hear all the effects. This is our crackle. We've got dust. Maybe. We've got this fan rumble. Really good. You're going to hear on pads and stuff, or really destructive stuff. You got a 60 hertz hum. You got a 50 hertz hum. Nice. Oh, I can feel that in my bones. White noise. You've got pink noise. And this last one I really love. This is a card reader, which has its own crackle going on inside it. Let's bring the piano back. and gate this. We've got some width down here. Let's take out the noise. And of course we've got a mix dial. Presets. So as you can see, we've got post delay set, and it's essentially a delay, right? Let's move over to some drums, okay? And we got these drums here. That drive just really fills it up. So we've got dust in here at the moment. Let's randomly pick some presets. Can really hear that widen out with the width there. Where's that card reader? Let's leave that on. Introduce. Sounds wicked with that hum in there. Was that a 50 hertz hum? I'm going to pull all of these out of here and we're going to wrap this up because, hey, look, it sounds delicious, right? It sounds really, really cool. Now, if you didn't know, this is all the talk of the town at the moment is Pro A5 Synth by Audio Kit. And it just had an update and all my presets are available now. Down the bottom here, Jade Starr, I've got a Twin Peaks inspired sound preset pack of 11 sounds, and I've got wrapped in plastic chosen at the moment. I'm going to pick Sycamore Tree and throw this on here. So this is it without. So this is a pretty, let's not lie, my pack is a bit demented. Right? So if you're expecting normal sounds, you're probably not going to get that with this pack inside of Pro A5. But here's where this shines, right? We're going to come in here and add this card reader sound. Gate it up. Man, this thing looks really nice on pads. So I'm just playing single notes, which is what this patch is really more for. You can play chords, right? Let's choose another patch from here just to show. We've got maybe falling. No, we'll do Black Coffee. Let's take it off. Let's grab a random preset. What have we got down the bottom here? We've got Seasick Wobble. Oh, man. It says, I feel a bit woozy. Pitch drift. Turn it back on. We'll try one more, then we get out of here for today. This is the Garamambozi preset. We'll turn off this. So with this preset, you want to use the mod wheel too to get some. Now let's turn this back on. With that 50 hertz hum in there, wow. It says tape squeal. Turn it off. Much cleaner. Oh, I love that hum. It's worth it just for the hum, right? Okay, there we have it. So that is today's app. Did you like it? What do you think? Sound off in the comments below. It is Traverse Lo-Fi Tape Effect by Audio Damage. $2.99, easy controls, sounds great, really good for lo-fi stuff. And if you just want to use it as a simple delay, we know Audio Damage make great stuff, so they're very reliable, easy to use, and that's what you love. Are you enjoying the content here on the channel? Well, please hit the like, subscribe, vibe it up, hype it up, whatever they call it these days, what you young kids do out there. And if you join the Patreon, we've got plenty of apps that we're giving away this week and each and every week for $5 and above patrons. Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together, stay awake, and let's Oj.